I think part of the reason why women have been held back a lot in the industry is we've sort of been like conditioned to think that there's only room for one. There's only room for one girl band on this festival, or there's only room to play one female on rock radio. Because of that, it's kind of been put in our heads that we just have to compete against each other. When I see one of our artists, doing something really cool, I feel excited like for them. Like I'm happy for them because I feel like, they're part of our gang and they're representing.
Yeah.
And
It's the ins and outs with Mackie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they're out. So our guest today is a Warped Tour icon and a crusader for women in the music industry. You may know her as the front woman for the all-female band Shiragirl and founder of Shiragirl Stage, which is the official stage for female artists, which have included power acts like Paramore and Joan Jett. She's now focused on her organization, Gritty and Pink, which is a new platform empowering women in music through an online network, events, and lifestyle partnerships. Here to tell us about it all is Shira Yevin, aka Shiragirl. Welcome to the show, Shira.
hi, thanks for having me.
How are you feeling today? First of all, where are you dialing in from?
I'm in LA, Studio City area.
Nice.
And it's uncharacteristically gloomy, but we actually like that here because it's something different.
We're up in Washington State, so it's gloomy all the time. So we're pretty used to that. Well,
Nice.
let's go ahead and start at the beginning. You started as an artist performing solo and as a front woman for your band Shiragirl. What was the need that you saw that inspired you to begin this crusade to empower women in music?
Yeah, well, I was on the Vans Warped Tour back in the day, and it was super male dominated at the time. I just noticed there was literally not one female musician on stage. There were maybe one or two local acts every now and then, and there was one singer on the main stage, but there was not one female musician. And I just didn't understand it. So I kind of approached Kevin Lyman, the founder of the tour, and I asked him, why are there no women on this tour? And, he said, I've tried to bring women in and, they get too big for me. They want too much money. They don't want to come back. I think the Donnas was one of them. But yeah, he was really open to the idea that we had pitched of kind of bringing some girl bands into what they called the girls' garage tent at the time. And we just thought, okay, it sounds cool. Let's do this. And it was the 10th anniversary of the tour. This was back in 2004.
Okay.
So when we, came to him with the idea and said, yeah, let's do this, he said, great idea. Let's do it next year because it's the 10th anniversary and we have too much going on. And we just thought, next year, like when you're 21, like next year, so we decided to crash the tour. We had a pink RV that we toured in, and we just drove in and kind of snuck in, set up across from the skate ramp, and the gates open and all the girls came running to the pink, and Kevin walked out. We kind of held our breath like, oh, we're going to get kicked out, and he just looked around and he said, Shira. And he's like, okay, so you on for the rest of the tour? So that was really cool. I thought it was both like kind of an invite and a challenge,
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then from there, we created an official stage the next year, which Kevin coined the Shiragirl Stage, and we went on to host over 300 female-fronted bands, including the rock icon Joan Jett and Paramore, actually ever on their first tour. So,
Wow.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. We had a ton of support from sponsors, press. The name Gritty and Pink actually came from like an article that was written about us, and then we got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Warped Tour exhibit. Huge honor. Like my
Congratulations.
shirt. Thank you. My shirt and set list next to Joan Jett's bra and set list. Like mind blowing, So yeah, huge honor.
Wow. So speaking of Gritty and Pink, in 2020, you launched Gritty and Pink, which recognizes incredible women paving the way for equality in the music industry. What inspired you to make this a bi-weekly stream?
So it's so funny. I actually realized today is the year anniversary of when I got laid off from my job due to COVID.
Oh, wow.
And basically, we had already started doing monthly events when the pandemic hit. So we started in January of 2020 at this venue called the Satellite. And it was a magical night. We had over 40 of LA's best female musicians come out. We did this all-girl jam. So it was like themed cover songs. There's this jam culture in LA that, no one was really looking at all the women in the scene. It was a huge void. And we had like Eva Gardner, the bassist for Pink, come out, like all these, superstars, Britt Lightning from Vixen, Jess Bowen from 303. Wow. And there was this magical energy, in the room. We packed the house, and people were really excited. We just knew we had started something special that night. And that we created this organic community. So 2 more months went by, February, March, we did Grammys, Valentine's, and Women's History Month. And then, COVID hit. So we decided to do a live stream instead of our April event. We had Chickchella was going to be our theme. We had an artist that was supposed to fly in from New York. I remember telling my team, guys, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to cancel this event. Remember when everyone was in denial in the beginning and people were like, no, it's fine. We'll be fine. This is 2 weeks, 2
weeks.
Right. So we did the live stream, and 600 people tuned in, and it was a huge success. And so we just thought, again, I had just lost my job and people were really craving connection. Wow. So we thought, you know what, let's go all in. Let's do it. It actually was a weekly show last year. And so this year we've kind of, pared it down to a longer show, but a bi-weekly show. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So you feature women who are both well-established and up and coming. How else can people show support and join maybe?
Yeah. So our Instagram is Gritty and Pink Life. So definitely check out the shows. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific on Instagram Live. And they're always live fundraisers for different charities. So super proud. We've been able to raise thousands of dollars for different charities, Keep Abreast, ACLU. So definitely tune in for that and follow us, on all the socials. But we also have a submission form in our link in bio where any female artist or female identifying artist can apply to perform. And once you kind of get into our family, we have a lot of support for the artists. We actually have a private invite-only network, and we host private sessions, different workshops, and things like that.
That's awesome. So recently, you all were posting quotes that I guess sort of generalizations that people have made about women in the music industry. Mm-hmm. What bridges do you think we still have to cross there?
I think there's this misconception that, everything's better now and, that we have equality, but we don't. We just had equal pay day. We're up to 82 cents to the man's dollar, Yes. Oh, yeah, we picked up a few more cents, but, the numbers don't lie. One of the things that I like to look at, it's like, I'm super stoked. The Grammys were great this year. We are making progress, but it's still not equal. So I think what you're referring to is the double standard challenge that was hosted by one of our artists, JL. She did a song called Double Standard for Women's Day. And the idea was to post, something that sometime that you had to encounter sexism, whether it's in the music industry or just in society in general. And so, I posted a sign that said, backstage is for the bands, because I can't tell you how many times I've been tried to get kicked out of backstage when I'm literally about to go on stage to perform. Some rock dude comes out to me, excuse me, backstage is just for the bands. Just assuming that I'm like there to be a groupie or something, It literally happened the last tour that we went out on. And I'm like, bro, I've been on this whole tour. Like where, where you been? It was just one of the support bands, he only rolled out of his tour bus bed before they went on, not usually, I guess. So he was very upset we were using the backstage bathroom. You know what I mean? No, it's wow. Just there's all kinds of things. It's funny because when I posted that, so many women came out of the woodwork in the comments and they were like, "Oh my God, yes, I've dealt with this so many times." So it's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's so important that you talk about it too, so that people feel like they can share it as well. So you have done a lot of amazing things with your live streams and even before then. What opportunities have opened up since then?
Well, we're fortunate to be able to partner with a lot of brands and organizations such as Mackie. And we were able to do this virtual tour last summer, and which we continued into the fall. And you can see my little, this side, my little poster back there, but we featured artists in 12 different cities, and that actually culminated in the I Voted Festival on election day. We had a virtual stage, and it was the largest online festival in history, online music festival. How cool. So things like that, where we're able to partner with different organizations, I think is really impactful to us. Yeah, and then just being able to, bring on different artists and work with new artists, and then launching this network that we're working on.
So speaking of powerful women, you were featured in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in an exhibit commemorating Warped Tour's 25th anniversary. You were also recently highlighted in Hello Giggles, which is an entertainment and lifestyle website that was founded by Zooey Deschanel. Very cool. How does it feel to be recognized as someone who holds a permanent place in rock history?
Honestly, it's incredible. And I feel like I didn't sell enough records to have this honor. I'm super honored, and the cool thing about Warped Tour is it's really a family, so once you're kind of part of the family, Kevin kind of takes artists under his wing, and he's actually one of our lead advisors for Gritty and Pink. And he's been helping me since the beginning, since I kind of came to him and said, I want to do this right when Warped Tour was ending. What can we do to sort of extend this? So, we went for the 25th anniversary. We all went down there for the opening of the exhibit. Out to Ohio, and Simple Plan, played. And it was just so cool because a huge part of like the DNA of Warped Tour is mixing up and coming bands with these more established acts. And, it's such a unique tour in that way. Like no other tour really does that, So even when we got into the Rock Hall of Fame, it was like, it was Shiragirl next to Joan Jett and Paramore and all these bigger bands, So Blink 182, Eminem. So many iconic bands and artists have played the tour. So it was very surreal. I'm stoked that I got to go out and cut the ribbon, and it was definitely it felt like a milestone. I was really proud. So,
well, you're such an inspiration to us little people. Thank you so much for paving that road for us.
Oh, stop.
Yes. So you're all about collaboration, obviously. How do you think? How important do you think it is to create a community?
It's so important, especially in these times. Everyone is feeling so isolated. We haven't been able to go to shows. Things are starting to open up now, which is nice. But I think it's important now more than ever. We do have this sense of connection through social media, but social media can also be very isolating because there's always that inflated sense of it's a highlight reel of everyone's, for the most part, of everyone's, best parts of their life, so there's always that sense of FOMO, or you feel like you're not doing enough, you're not posting enough, you're not living a cool enough life. I think that's why Gen Z has more mental health issues, they're saying, than any other generation, because it's really a unique beast that we're not really equipped naturally to deal with. So I think community is just one way, that we can come together. And, I've had a lot of discussions with my artists, with our Gritty artists about this. It's strength in numbers, and I think part of the reason why women have been held back a lot in the industry is we've sort of been conditioned to think that there's only room for one, there's only room for one girl band on this festival. Oh, we have our girl band, or there's only room to play one female in rock radio. There's literally been rules. You can't play two females in a row, So because of that, it's kind of been put in our heads that we just have to compete against each other. I think guys don't have that as much. The boys club, they like to help each other out and lift each other up. And, so that's this is the girls club, that's what we're trying to create, strength in numbers and supporting each other. And it's such a nice feeling, every time someone has a new single, we all post about it. We comment on each other's posts and cheer each other on, and to me, when I see one of our artists, doing something really cool, I feel I feel excited for them. I'm happy for them because I feel they're part of our gang and they're representing. And I feel we're all coming up together.
That's awesome. So how do you collaborate, Shira? And what advice can you offer people?
Well, I think a big thing is just to be vulnerable, and don't forget, everyone, I feel like every artist has imposter syndrome,
Definitely.
everyone has had those feelings. Oh, that she wouldn't want to work with me, but just try, just reach out because you never know, and we've made some huge asks for artists to be on our shows, our live streams, and sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't, but you keep pushing. And, we've heard all kinds of things from management. Oh, artists, they don't want to be associated with, being a female artist or whatever it is. And, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And so we just, we keep moving. You can never let anyone else's opinion kind of stop you in your tracks,
That's right.
So
how excited are you to start playing live shows? Will you continue your live streams?
Yeah, we've talked about this. So excited for live shows. We are going to continue because we know Instagram's not going anywhere, and so we feel like it still helps us get to, newer audiences. That said, we're going to want to live stream our shows now, so I think we did that some in the past, but I don't think there was as much of, an emphasis on it. So we're going to make sure that we have like really good, live streams ready to go. I remember like the second week of quarantine, all of a sudden everyone's on IG Live. No one really used it that much before, And so I think it's a powerful platform, and I think that is going to continue.
What's up? We're Shiragirl, and this is Summer's Coming. intelligence. My teacher said, breathe for your intelligence. I must be dreaming. You say it's so hard, but it's easy. I must be dreaming. You say it's so hard, but it's easy. I'm alive. Ivy League into the streets. Punk rock into dance pop beats. Businesswoman into nighttime freak. Crossing them lines, days turn into dreams. If it's a dream, I don't wanna wake up, but I don't feel asleep. I feel all the way up. Everything is coming up, Shiragirl, fall into place. Make it happen, girl. I must be dreaming. You say it's so hard, but it's easy. I must be dreaming. You say it's so hard, but it's easy. I'm alive, I must be dreaming. 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 I'm dreaming in my life. Woo!
Yeah.
We did it.
That felt good. Yeah. My thumb hates me now.
Aw.
It's the ins and outs,
Takes.
ins and outs
Takes.
with Mackie.
So now it's time for our ins and outtakes, which is a rapid fire of random questions. Are you ready for that?
I hope so.
All right, these will be easy. So, all right, Shira. So, what are some of your, or who are some of your favorite artists you've shared the stage with?
Well, Paramore definitely because they're legendary.
Yes.
Of course, Joan Jett, Rancid. We actually work with Tim Armstrong is our producer, so Rancid's like family to us. No Effects, always super fun. Pennywise, love those guys, and another band that's kind of taken us under their wing. Yeah, those are probably my favorites.
Do you have a secret talent not pertaining to music?
I'm really great at negotiating.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. So, when do you feel most motivated and inspired?
I love just when I see, a video or hear a song from another artist that just, is so unique and that speaks to something that I'm experiencing. So probably by other artists.
What's better, Shira, being a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
Great question. I think a big fish in a small pond. That kind of speaks to, my love of community.
I love that. So, what lifts your spirits when life gets you down?
My cat, Sherbert.
Sherbert.
This
She's
is
probably
this is
around you right
Sherbert.
now.
He's
Okay,
well, you
Sherbert.
can't really see. I don't know if you can see. He's sleeping in his bed, but he's adorable.
So, Shira, if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be?
Don't stress so much.
You're going to pave the road.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll all work out in the end. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, what are you looking forward to this year?
Getting back into playing shows for sure. Live shows.
If you weren't a musician, what is another career you would have liked to explore?
Stand-up comedian.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome. Did you ever do any like open mics or dive into that?
I did a one-woman show in the Hollywood Fringe Festival actually a few years ago. Yeah. And I was so nervous. I never get nervous to perform. And it was a very personal show too. And there's no better feeling, I was like, are they going to laugh at my jokes? And then, we start cracking, they laughing. There's no better feeling, like it's instant gratification,
How has that been different compared to being the front woman you are? I mean, you are commanding behind that camera. I can't imagine you being shy on a stage doing comedy. Do you feel like maybe that plays into your live set as well?
I do. I'm always trying to lighten the mood and crack jokes. I I think it's just a different medium, So anytime you're trying something new, and that show in particular, it was called Hot Dates. It was like about my personal life and my love life, so it was very
Wow.
personal. Yeah. But I did one time. I was at a comedy show and I won like a raffle for like a free workshop at Flappers in Burbank, and I went and I took the workshop and that was fun. They have you get on stage at the end, so I did a whole little bit about how hard it is to be a pothead. It was pretty funny. I think, anyway.
So, Shira, who would play you in the movie of your life?
Well, that is a great question. You know, I used to say like she's older than me, but Renee Zellweger. I like when I was younger and she was younger. I used to get like I don't know, comparisons. Yeah, but I don't know. I guess it would have to be someone younger, right? If they're playing me, so
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
It could be a man. It could be a woman. It could be anybody you
I
want.
know. I'm trying to think of like who's younger that's coming out now. How about Lady Gaga? I'll let
That's
her
a
play
good
me.
one. Oh, gosh. Yes. Yes. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us? Any websites, upcoming shows, events we should watch for, Shira?
Yeah, sure. My band's website is shiragirl.com, Shiragirl. Grittyandpink.co, C-O, is the Gritty and Pink website. Also on Instagram, my personal is Shira_girl. I will say that I wanted to share what we're working on with Gritty and Pink. So we are building out this network, which right now we're kind of beta launching just for our artists, but eventually we're going to open it up to women who work in all aspects of the music industry, such as yourself. So super excited to connect women in all aspects of the industry. And eventually we're going to be building a marketplace platform where you can actually connect and hire, different service providers on the platform. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now. And it's a huge project, but I'm excited. We also want to do a tour. So that was kind of the original vision for Gritty and Pink, was to do a touring festival, kind of like a female Vans Warped Tour. So, maybe summer 2022. We'll see.
Definitely. So, Shira, before you go, who do you think we should invite onto the podcast next?
Oh, that's a great question. I have so many amazing artists that are part of my squad. I'm like, where do I even start, honestly? But one that comes to mind is Cheyenne Jolene from Bodacious Thing. So we started this program, the Gritty Bandmate of the Month. It was like our answer to Playboy Playmate of the Month. And she was our first Bandmate of the Month in February. And her band, Bodacious Thing, is really awesome. It's very unique in its style, and it kind of fuses hip hop and rock and R&B and punk. And I don't know, it's very cool. And we actually did Shiragirl did a collaboration, a cover of Killing in the Name, Rage Against the Machine. So check that out. That's up on YouTube.
Cool.
And Chuck D actually tweeted about it the other day, which blew my mind. So yeah, I would say bring on Cheyenne.
Well, thank you so much, Shira. This has been awesome. Good luck to everything in your future. And thank you for everything you've done for women and you continue to do.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, Mackie, for supporting women in music and supporting Gritty and Pink. All of our artists have loved the product, and we just really appreciate the support and collaboration. So thanks.
Again, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. Until next time, Mackoids.
It's the ins and outs.